go with a little bit of Fat Guy Radio Show.
It's Fat Guy Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody, to another Fat Guy Radio Show with our special Fat and Furloughed show. This one's going to be a little interesting for all involved because we are literally setting a historic timestamp on the history of Fat Guy Radio Show. I have for many years. For those of you that have listened to the show for as long as possible, the name Fat has always been synonymous to the show. And people always come up to me and ask me where they see me at an appearance, or they see me in the grocery store, or what have you. They always ask the question, what if you lost weight, Corey? What would the show name be? And my answer is always it would still be Fat Guy Radio Show. And we've had guests on this show, from celebrities to musicians to damn near my next door neighbor. But one particular guest type we've never had on this show is a personal trainer. And this episode of Fat and Furloughed is really a shining example of social media when it's used properly. Because my next guest I've never met face to face. And he is in the same boat that I am. We're just small business owners and partners that are trying to build a brand. But what makes him so special is the fact that he is the first ever personal trainer guest on the air with Fat Guy Radio Show. And I saved this particular moment for the Fat and Furloughed episodes miniseries because I knew how epic this was going to be. I have interviewed celebrities. I have talked to big names, but never before have I been so nervous to talk to a freaking personal trainer. Now, be still your hearts, ladies, and some gentlemen, be still your hearts. A personal trainer, of course, he looks exactly how you would imagine a personal trainer will look. So I am already feeling self-conscious. But that's okay. I'm going to roll with it anyway. But man, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my friend, local personal trainer here in the tri-state area of Phoenix, Arizona, and Chandler and Gilbert and Tempe. They all kind of just meshed together. Please welcome to the show, my buddy, my friend, Nate Avila. Nate, how are you, buddy?
I'm pretty well. How are you?
I am good. I'm nervous to talk to you.
Don't be nervous.
Number one, I'm going to have to make sure that I do some video slimming on my camera feed. Man. Oh, dude. So, Nate and I have never actually met in person. We've never shaken each other's hands. We've definitely never shared a hamburger or anything like that. But it's our connection is literally, Nate, through the power of social media, right?
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct.
I don't know if it was a mutual friend request or one of those things that pop up on Facebook or whatever it is. Do you know how we even got connected at all?
Honestly, I could probably tell you that you probably popped up on one of my suggested friends lists as in the area. And there's, times I would just, if I knew the person or seem like I know you or I've seen you before, I'm gonna press the add friend. So I was pressing. So that's probably what happened that day. You came across my suggested friends. I pressed add friend, and then I would say the rest is history.
Now tell the truth. Now tell the truth. Shame the devil. You saw a fat guy, and you said that I can get this dude in shape. Let me friend his ass up so I can get him in shape and save his little cheeseburger chewing ass. Is that? No, I'm kidding. I know that didn't go through your head. That's probably the way that it may, it may or may not. So what we did is that we just started, DMing, chatting back and forth, either on Instagram or on Facebook. And I was learning what you do, and you were learning what I do. We threw some ideas back and forth at each other because you were dipping your toe, taking your craft of personal training into the world of YouTube where I exist. Branding, we had conversations about branding back and forth. And this is literally two people that have never seen each other face to face that are just having a conversation.
Right. And you gave me free, you created, that's how it all started. You created, when you were learning about me, you created like a logo for me.
Oh yeah, and that's right.
And I was like, what? I'm like, this is like honestly, I thought like the logos came out of nowhere. Like 3 logos popped up into my messaging, and I'm like, okay, this is like legit. Like this seems like cool stuff. And so honestly, that day I was like, am I gonna have to pay for these? I told my girlfriend, I'm like, am I gonna have to pay for these? Like, what's gonna, like, I'm like, look at these. Like, I'm like, let me show you. Like, these are. And so you had some great ideas, and the one idea that I loved the most was like, I'm like, hey, like, I'm gonna throw this back to you. Can you just make it to where it's just my name and just add training in there, personal training? And the one that you sent back was the one that I've been using this entire time.
And
on my face.
That's indicative of how I kind of got my start and how people have mentored me along the way.
Right.
I just saw that, no charge whatsoever. I saw what you were doing, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to pour into them and give them about, $3,000 worth of logo design work.
Right.
And literally just, as a gift, not knowing you at all, because people have done that to me. People have said, I see what you're doing. I just want to help. I just want to give you whatever talent I have to allow you to get to that next level. So I was just paying it forward, man. Back to you. And now that's all coming back to memory now. I remember that because I saw your logo. And when you do something like that to somebody that you don't know, you gotta kind of tiptoe around that, because you don't know I don't know if you sat back and you marinated on the logo that you did have for a long time, or if that brand had some type of personal significance to you, you know what I mean? But me being a guy that has studied logo design and studied colors and what's the current trend with the flat logos and all that other stuff.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, maybe this will help them out a little bit. You know what I mean? And it was just something, and it doesn't happen all the time. Now, I don't want people hitting me up talking about, hey, Corey, can you drop me a logo? I'm inspired because I want to start my hair weaving company. No, I'm not about to do that. That's not about to happen. I'm a very busy man. It was something special about Nate, and I saw it, and I just wanted to, lend a hand in it. But that's literally how it all started, all on social media, and so forth. So then, of course, we fast forward a little bit, and we just talk back and forth every once in a while, just kind of checking in, especially a lot more around the hit of the pandemic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of freaked me out just a little bit because you went silent for a month.
Right.
And I was like, and dude, I'm going to be honest with you. When people go silent on social media these days, it's almost like, OS, is it the Rona? Did the Rona get them? And I'm like, wait a minute, Nate is the healthiest person on the planet. He's probably going to live till he's 4,000 years old. He'll be here for the next 4 or 5, 6 pandemics. There's no way this happened. So I shot you a Facebook message, and you had just been offline for a while. What did you decide to do?
I just got tired of just seeing everything that was going on, from what's going on in the world right now, to political views, to everything about the virus. It was like it just got too much. And plus, I'm working from home as well. I'm in customer service, so on top of training, I'm also a customer service rep, and so I'm working at home. I'm seeing that on social media. I was like, my hands up. I'm like, I got to be off of social media. Like, this is just getting too much, because that's all I was doing throughout the day. I'm working from home, spend my 9 hours a day on the couch waiting for phone calls come in because they're automatic, and I'm just scrolling through social media, and that's all I saw. That's all I saw every single day, and I was like, there's got to be more to life than just doing this while working from home and being on social media. So I decided to go cold turkey without telling anyone. The only people I told were my immediate family, like were inside my household right now. They were the only ones that knew. And then after coming off of social media, I told them, I said, hey, I'm back on social media, and I bet you anything, no one would even know that I was gone. And they were like, probably not. You were the only person that reached out to me asking if I was okay.
Wow.
I said, I at least have one good friend in the world who knows if I'm okay or not.
That's me, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Blades. You know what? You were smart. My executive producer of our normal show on Thursday nights, he did the exact same thing. He went media blackout because it was just bad news after bad news, opinion after opinion. And I wish it was something that I could do, but because of, this here, it's impossible for me to go social media silent, especially with, my entire crew for this show just being, dispersed by this pandemic. Somebody has to keep the boat afloat, But I applaud you for it. I believe I told you, I said, you're going to come out on the other end of this. And then I kind of felt bad because I was like, oh crap, I made him break his social media fast. And then I felt even worse when you told me, oh no, Corey, it's the last day. So my dumb ass waited to the last day to hit you up to see, hey bro, you okay? I haven't seen you in a while. And you're like, yeah, I took a social media fast, but at least I got it at the final hour. I was clutch. I was clutch. That's what they call it, right? Oh, but the pandemic has affected, so many people out there. And I agree with you, man. Social media has become, in some opinions, worse than the pandemic, at just the way of all the false, misleading, overblown, modulated BS that is just being circulated. Someone sees one article written on some backwoods blog and they post it as the word of God. And then people reshare that, and then it reshares that, and then it reshares that, and then someone, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I find myself now just scrolling past it. Scrolling past it. We experienced it a little bit here because, our presence for this show is internet based. And we even got personal attacks and hate from us joining with the Mask Up Arizona hashtag, and lost a few friends over that and lost a few fans over that. I'm like, okay, it's just a piece of fabric that's covering your mouth. I mean, it ain't that far from where your neck is, and you're already covering that. So, just pull it up a little further, but that's beside the point. So tell everybody, share with everybody, I know, what is it that you do on the training aspect? How would you describe what you do?
Oh man, I could tell you, for me personally, this is my personal experience. It's a lot of learning. I had to learn a lot to understand personal training, because when we see personal training, we think it's like just training someone, we're teaching them how to work out, but it's much more than that, I would say, because I thought why I got into personal training is because I graduated high school, and personal training was like, at the time when I was looking at the reviews, it's like you're making at least $48K a year. And if you're working inside of a commercial gym or a club gym, And so that was the route that I wanted to go. But just to be able to train someone, I had to like learn and endure of like muscle movements, muscle groups, what they mean, body parts, all that type of stuff. Of course, there's certifications out there. I'm taking. I just got specialized in weight loss. Just passed that course, and now I'm taking my personal training certification. And in these courses, it's like it is a lot of learning. It is a lot of like, but I also endured and invested in a personal trainer as well. So hear me right. I said I invested in a personal trainer as well because I believe that if Michael Jordan had a coach and a trainer, Kobe Bryant had a coach and a trainer, I should have a coach and a trainer to be able to coach me into what I need to do in my profession. And so my trainer's been teaching me the past year and a half, like certain muscle movements on myself, muscle groups on myself. He's been teaching me a lot of things that when I have the clientele, that I will have the clientele, that I'm able to give them the right information and they're going to feel better about themselves. Before then, I just dabbled in with just helping people how to eat healthier before the training. And I helped my girlfriend lose 23 pounds in 2 months without any exercise. And that was just disclaimer without any exercise because I was teaching her properly how to eat healthy. The same with my mom. Within a year, she was able to drop 47 pounds, just a little bit of exercise, but it was all nutrition based. And so I can teach people nutritional value to where they can be able to see the results without any exercise. Of course, I'm confident in that because that's what I started with myself too. I was always overweight kid. I was overweight. I wasn't over 300 pounds, nothing like that. But you can tell when you're overweight when you're shopping. Remember Kmart? They had
Yeah.
they had the section called the Husky section. When
Yes,
you go
I,
into
I remember
the
that.
Huskies that's the only where I could be able to buy my clothes in that section. And so I always made it a point to try to be able to become, healthy in a sense of wanting to lose weight all my entire life. And so I was able to lose 36 pounds over the course of my journey and being able to maintain that off as well and not ever look back with feeling of like overweight or fat or anything like that. Fat is a derogative term. I barely throw that around, but in psychological sense, people, have to relate to that word a lot. And so my journey, it's been a whirlwind, but it's also been a learning experience too within this journey, I would say.
Now you struck by what's the word? My bias a little bit. And I don't begrudge you for it. And congratulations to all of your learning and your success. And I've never heard a personal trainer say that I have a personal trainer. Normally personal trainers are quote unquote God themselves, and they and their way is the right way, and no one can really. So I find it very interesting that you have a personal trainer, almost kind of like a personal trainer mentor, if you will, if that's safe to say.
Yep.
So you mentioned that you were fat and you had to shop in the Husky section of Kmart. And for those of you that are on the East Coast or in other countries, Kmart is, a big box commercial store, basically. 36 pounds to my big fat ass ain't nothing, Nate. I've worked with personal trainers before, and I will say that one particular personal trainer that I worked with, I will say that he was good because he was successful, but working with me, he wasn't successful. And I believe that his level of success came from he was more of the ones that, they bulk up and then they slim down and then they put on the little banana hammock and then they spray themselves with, Elmer's glue, and then they go out and they traipse across the stage and I don't know, people throw donuts at them or something. I don't know what the hell happens, but something interesting happens and then they get a trophy or a ribbon or a participation medal. I don't know.
Right.
But he was working with me and I don't know if I paid full price for it, if it was something trade for the radio show or whatever it is, but it didn't do crap for me. I'm still fat, And when I say fat, or when I know you said that's a derogatory term, big or husky, I think is way different than where I'm at. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a big dude. I
Right.
am obese.
Right.
That's a big difference between being overweight, losing 23 pounds. I saw pictures before and pictures of your girlfriend, and she was fine at 23, bro.
Right.
With the 23 pounds on it, and she fine without the 23 pounds on it. And I've seen pictures of you before the 36-pound loss and after the 36-pound loss, and I'm like, I didn't know that you can improve on perfection, because if I lost 36 pounds, the only thing that's going to change is my sock size, So how do you see the difference between being overweight and being obese? And as a personal trainer, and I know you're still learning a lot of this, so if I throw something at you that you may not know the answer to, it's quite all right, because you're still getting your feet wet. How do you attack the difference between getting someone healthy that is fat, or I'm sorry, heavy, and getting someone healthy that is obese? Because obesity, there's been studies, I've read them, that have said that, having someone obese lose weight it's harder than, getting someone to kick a drug addiction.
Right.
So as a personal trainer, how do you see the two differences, and how do you attack the two differences?
So, obesity is something when a person, male or female, is dealing with a chronic condition. A chronic condition is either they're dealing with hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Chronic condition is high cholesterol. Chronic condition of type 2 diabetes. Now, type 1 diabetes is more so like you're born with it, where insulin is not being produced a lot when you're at a younger age.
Mm-hmm.
Type 2 diabetes is the more common one that is more associated with obesity, where that has happened over time, because that is not made. Our body, like, I know personal trainers probably listening to this, they're probably like, well, that's not true. Well, we can look at the studies, what doctors say is what we learn, and it is type 2 diabetes is the cause of, over time, it's overweight. We're adapting ourselves, our body is being adapted to change to our, let's be honest, our bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way, like my father, I can share this with you, that my father, he's pretty overweight. He has type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure. He told me that he went to the doctor the other day, and I can share this because he told me, and he's okay with it. He weighs 217. His doctor told him that if he loses about 10 pounds, he'll be okay. But it's not the fact of just 10 pounds. I told him, as his son, and I would say, still working with him, trying to help him, lose the weight, is that I'm like, Dad, if you lose more than 10 pounds, you're not going to just fix your weight problem, of course, but you would also have a better chance at your life, because your blood pressure would be reduced, your diabetes would be reduced, your cholesterol would be reduced. It's, from when I look at him, because I put the two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
Obese and like overweight and obese, it's basically all the same. It's just a matter of fact, if we're looking at the person with chronic conditions. In this case, my dad is obese because he has chronic conditions.
Okay.
I could say that I'm overweight without chronic conditions. I can say that that's how my brain works. That's how I'm classifying the two.
Okay. So it's
And
not
so,
necessarily a scale number for you.
correct.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay. I've actually never heard someone explain it that way. You blew my mind, and I've heard everything. You blew my mind. I've heard. I'm going to go celebrate with a trip to Burger King. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So how would you combat if you were to have someone reach out to you, and we'll make sure that we give all your social media out before we're done. If someone reached out to you and they were someone of my size, let's say, I'm not saying these are my numbers, folks, but let's say someone north of 3 bills. How would you, that's clearly going to be obese, correct?
Right.
By the sheer numbers.
Right. But I would also ask them, because someone in that stature, I would ask them more questions, how much they would, like to lose?
Mm-hmm.
How much are they willing to lose within a respected time frame? Because when we say we would like to lose 50 to 100 pounds, it's usually not in a good time frame. And it's honestly going to probably take more than a year if you're wanting to lose that type of weight in the first place. And so it's with someone at that nature, I want to see their physical. I want to like talk with them and physical level, like, or psychological level of just trying to get to know them in a way of like, what are you wanting to tell me? And exactly what are you exactly wanting to tell me? Meaning that if you say you want to lose 50 pounds and I ask you what is the respective time frame, you would probably be honest if you're really wanting to lose the 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I would majority people, if they're really going through a transition that they know they want to lose the 50 pounds and they're at that weight level, they would be honest about it. Now, we have the other majority of the world that are sometimes not honest. They would say they want to lose 20 pounds, 10 pounds if they're at that weight level.
If you're at 300 pounds and you want to lose 20 pounds, it's not even worth it, in my opinion. That's the equivalent of saying, "Hey, I'm going to go on a cross country road trip on a donut." That's dumb to me.
Right.
That wouldn't even be worth it because, and then I mean maybe I'm wrong because then maybe when someone hits that 20-pound goal, they'll say, "Hey, this crap feels good. Let's keep going."
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's tradition, but if you're losing, you know, not being honest, I understand. Continue. I apologize. I interrupted you.
Oh, it's okay. It's just like speaking with people for the past like 4 years of like about just nutrition. Because my girlfriend is not a trainer, but she's also a health coach, and she can help people through nutrition also. And what we found together is that people sometimes are just not even wanting to change the bad habits of just normal nutrition because and I was the same way. She was the same way. She said no to me for 3 months before she hopped on her nutrition program.
Really?
I was like, hey, yeah, she said no to me for 3 months until one night we were hanging out and she gave me cash up front saying, this is for my nutrition program. And I thought it was just free money. I was like, man, you're giving me $200 right now. What is this? I'm like, we just got to know each other. What is this? And she's like, no, it's for my nutrition program. I said, okay. And I was just in the first month, just teaching her how to eat properly and healthy. She was able to lose 13 pounds.
Wow.
And then incorporating the exercises the next month, she lost another 10 pounds. So that gave her the confidence. So like, it's also not about like the weight, because I know Corey, you mentioned that like at 23 pounds, she looked good, but I can tell you if she explained to you why didn't she look good is because of how she felt. She didn't like the fact of low energy, not being able to, have enough energy, always going to sleep, afterwards, after she's working. And that's, some people look at it as that's okay, like sleeping is good for you, but like I'm meaning like she's going like right after work on the couch, eating a bag of chips, going to sleep.
Was that the same thing that was behind your 36-pound loss? What was behind you losing your weight?
Behind me losing my weight was more so driven. I saw other people do it. So I was like, come again? How'd you do it? Like, I'm already working out with my friend. We're in the gym of an LA Fitness for 2 hours. So like, what am I doing wrong here? What is the opposite? Oh, Taco Bell wasn't working for me. Chipotle wasn't working for me. Got it. Okay. Let me try this nutrition program. And then that's how it was over time. In my first month, I can be honest, in my first month, it was 13 pounds. I only lost 13 pounds in my first month. Then over time, consistently doing the same repetition, I was able to lose 36 pounds.
Wow.
And so it was consistent with it.
I thank you for being so open and so vulnerable on this. I really do, because I know that, talking about your girl's way that she saw herself, because when someone that's my size sees someone the size of your girlfriend or the size of you, and even before the weight loss and stuff like that, we don't see anything wrong in our eyes.
Right.
obese people, and the funny thing is that your definition of obese, just to go back to that for a second, having some underlying health conditions. If I can give you some personal information about me being as big as I am, I have no underlying health condition that is a result of my weight, which makes it very interesting. And even my own physician looks at it and says, I am surprised you do not have high cholesterol or hypertension. He's actually used the phrase with me, a healthy fat guy, which is interesting. However, he did put a little asterisk next to it that said, when something does come on from the weight, it is going to come with several of its friends. Hypertension, high cholesterol, all heart disease, all of that is going to come at the same time. So bright future for me. But so when I see someone, and I know there are other people that are in my audience that are of larger carriage, and they see someone that is 36 pounds uncomfortable, 23 pounds uncomfortable, 21 pounds uncomfortable and stuff like that, we're like, that ain't nothing. I'm getting to the mentality of weight loss and nutrition. I have heard this so many times where weight loss and nutrition is 90% mental, 10% physical.
Correct.
And I've kind of embedded that into my mental mind's eye, because I do struggle more with the mental aspect of it, because I get jelly AF when I hear you and your girls' little cute asses wanting to lose 23 and 36 pounds. When I hear 23 pounds, I'm like, that was my Thanksgiving turkey 2 years ago. So I get jealous AF when I see and hear that. And what that does is that screws with my mentality. That screws with my mental sense on saying they went from fine to finer, you know, and I'm trying to go, there ain't no way I'm ever going to hit fine. You know what I mean? So how do you see the ratio of mentality versus physicality when it comes to health and nutrition as well as losing weight? Because health and nutrition definitely ties into losing weight. So how does that ratio work in your world?
It's like a baseball game, you know, the batting averages with that, and of course the trainer is not always gonna win. I can be honest with that. The trainer is not gonna always win. It's always gonna be the client, you know, win, because we as the trainer, we're the guidance, the support system, but it's up to the client to take that still initial step. And you know, with my dad, I've told him many times, like, hey, like, this is how you want to eat healthy? Well, go ahead and make your meals for the week. You work overnight, so you might as well just make your meals for the week. So then by the time you come home in the morning, your breakfast is ready to go. You can go to sleep, take a shower, go to sleep, wake up, and have another meal before you go to work. I found meal prepping we hear it all the time, meal prepping can save someone's life, but in his mental state, he just doesn't have time at all whatsoever. So I just say, okay. I listen, and I'll try to come back to that same question again, probably about 2 weeks later, because I want to see if he's willing to talk himself into meal prepping, into just taking that step. And the same with exercise. I tell him all the time to exercise. Go out for a 30-minute walk. Do just a 30-minute walk. Something small, something simple. Mentality is not there either to go out for a walk. And so it's just the person himself, of course, is going to have to want it. I can't make you, you know, do anything. Of course, no trainer can. I've seen trainers like on social media, of course, they guarantee, you know, weight loss and all that type of stuff. But it all comes down to like the hard work of a person, because I'm a true testament to myself. Like, that's my own personal story is what will get someone to understand that it is hard work. My girlfriend's story, because like Corey, you say like, you know, that 36 pounds and 23 pounds is like, you know, that's for me over being over, you know, this amount of weight. That's nothing. That's like not even, but if you asked us at the very beginning when I was still 36 pounds overweight, 20, and she was 23 pounds overweight, asked us how we felt and our energy and our mental, we probably wouldn't be the same person that we are here today.
Yeah.
And that would be the opposite of like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand that now.
It's
And that
it's challenging for, you know, a lot of people. And I mean, we talk about a virus pandemic, you know, there's been a pandemic that has gripped this country
right.
For thousands of years, which is weight loss. And
Right.
the pandemic has rested so well upon society that even nowadays, seeing someone that is fit, that you could,
Right.
you know, bounce a coin off of them, that's almost starting to go into the background. And we're
Right.
starting to see more dad bods. We're starting to see Hollywood embrace more big people. You know what I mean? We've got the Chrissy
Yep.
Metz that are coming out. We got the
Yep.
larger actors, where before in Hollywood it wasn't that. So it kind of almost seems that society is somewhat pushing back against nutrition and weight loss because it's more acceptable to be big. And I mean, you know,
Right.
there's some African tribes where the bigger you are, the more wealth you have. And I've been told that I would be an emperor, you know, but you know, I'm not moving
Almost there.
almost there, you know, a couple more Chipotle trips and I'll be good to go. But how do you as a personal trainer combat, or if you even attempt to combat, the societal view of body image? It's completely changed now.
I love that question a lot because I see it every day when watching TV. And of course, personal trainers won't win in the sense of social media and combating what they're putting out for fast food, drive through, Uber Eats, all this delivery on the go stuff. Like, there's no way, they would ever, like, health and fitness industry is still, if we're seeing both the driving of the delivery and goes, the Uber Eats coming up, but you're also seeing fitness and nutrition doing this as well, making kind of like a triangle shape. They're in a sense of meeting in the middle because, of course, over time, as you eat so much of that bad stuff, your then mentality is going to go over to the other pendulum and be like, I also want to lose weight. It's going to happen. It's either or. Like, you're either already on the nutrition side and you're probably like, this pandemic, I probably can get away with a few of Uber Eats and Chipotle's and all that stuff. So I'm going to swing over to the other side and order more out.
So
eat out more.
So is that pendulum the same thing when it comes to the societal acceptance of body imaging? Do you think that the pendulum will eventually swing back to the fact that, you know, it's more acceptable to be fit than it is to be, you know, have a dad bod? Do you think it's going to swing back at some point?
I believe so at some point because, physicians, doctors, of course, they're going to be like, hey, like, you over that time over the pandemic, you didn't take care of yourself well enough. Like, now this is what's happening with your body. And I think sometimes, like, with people, when they get that wake up call, then they will go back to the fitness side. Because there's, like you said, there's nothing wrong with being, overweight, the healthy fat guy or anything like that. It's just the fact of what, like your physician already said, your doctor is saying that, but eventually.
Yeah.
The key word is eventually.
Eventually.
And a lot of people don't think eventually will come soon. They think that, eventually is going to come later. But we don't know our future and we can't see eventually.
No.
So we don't know how these triangles of healthy nutrition, body imaging, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, if it's going to ever go back and forth. And that also goes back with the norm. Right now in this pandemic, everyone's all scattered all over the place. They're upset because they can't go to the gym. They don't have gyms to go to. So they're not looking right now to be healthy. They're not looking right now to be fit. It's just that's how it's working. Trust me, when we started working from home, I was like, there's no point in being fit right now. I'm just gonna eat as much as I can because I'm working from home. Exactly. But I also had in the back of my mind, I was like, love handles are starting to come back. I don't want that to come back.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what we were doing before.
Jeez, dude, if you have love handles, then I must have a spare tire around my waist. I'm going to hit you with a big hard one here.
Okay.
And this is a personal one for me because there is this old adage that says, unless you've walked a mile in someone's shoes, it's really hard to help them in their story or to understand their journey. And I've said this on my show for several years that there's several personal trainers that are, big time, like the Richard Simmons. The other guy escapes my name, but he's out in Scottsdale. But the reason why I can connect myself to them a little bit more is because they've been where I am.
Right.
So I've said that, it's hard for me to be vulnerable or open or to even trust a personal trainer that has gotten their teachings to help me from a book versus them actually being me and then becoming what I want to be. And so meaning they've walked in my shoes. And so how would you address me when it comes to the fact that I can look at you, your story isn't as big as mine? How can I know, or is it all on me to accept what you know as a way to help me? So how would you approach someone like me that challenges your validity because you've never been where I am?
Right. Yeah. What I say to that is to build a relationship with someone, to keep someone, in the relationship, I would say I would find the person for you. I would actually, if I was speaking to you and that was what you were more feeling comfortable with, that was the route that you were wanting or willing to take, that you wanted someone to be just like you in your shoes, then I'm 100% behind you on that decision, that I wouldn't be the trainer for you. And because I've told my girlfriend that before, that people like that, I would be 100% okay with if they felt more comfortable being with someone that they know they're going to be comfortable with, that they can relate to. If you said, no, I still want to train with you, I still want to be around you, then what I'm going to do is I'm still going to go find that person that you want to be, that has the same background, the same story as you. And I'm going to ask them questions so I can come back to you and give you those answers and train you in the way that you want to be trained. That's what my personal trainer is saying. You want to, treat people better than you found them. You want to give them the red carpet. You want to give them as much, as possible in the tools, that you're not going to have the answer for everything. So that would be the second reason, for that. I would either refer you to someone that you're going to feel more comfortable with, or I would go find the answers, the training, the information for you and bring that back to you. Because in the end, that's how we're going to build a relationship. And I know that's ultimately what you would be seeking for. And so why would I be a trainer that would be lying and so forth, and we're not building any relationship because our stories don't match, or you're not feeling comfortable because of where I'm already at and so forth. So I would rather, in my own skin, as a human being, would feel more comfortable to have you with someone that you're going to be more comfortable with, that's going to be relate to your shoes and your story and so forth.
Nate, you have a huge future ahead of you with just that answer. I have struggled my entire life with my weight. I have come across many of trainers, and no one has been able to answer that concern of mine as eloquently as you have. Every other trainer has come to me and all they've said is, well, I'm going to find the right program for you and we're going to get this done. And I'm going to prove to you that I'm the right one. Not one of these mofos ever looked at me and said, I may not be the right person for you then. No one has ever said that. Dude, you've got a huge future for you because that was the hardest question I had in my arsenal for you today. And I'm like, I'm going to hit him with this and let's see where he decides to go. But dude, you don't know how much that almost got me in the feels here. You almost got this old pudgy chocolate guy up here in North Glendale with the feels with your answer, because that was eloquently put. You nailed it. And you're right. That speaks a lot about you in this personal training realm, because every other personal trainer that I personally come across, man, they think they are they are A through Z. They've got it all. And to hear a personal trainer like yourself that's just starting out, and the attitude that you are comfortable and confident enough to say, I may not be the guy for you, that's going to resonate with a lot of people, because that's going to resonate someone that's with someone else that says Nate Avila is willing to sacrifice himself to help you reach your goal. You could easily say, I'm going to help you out, $500 a month, $300 a week, whatever it is. You could have kept that and made it all about yourself. But to self-sacrifice, dude, that is unheard of in the world of fitness. That literally is, you blew my mind. You blew my camel hat off my head with that answer. I was so damn wrapped up in this. I just got a text message from my producer who's monitoring this remotely. He said, you never played the intro, and I don't care that I didn't play the intro. We'll put it in post. But you blew my mind with that, man. I'm almost speechless, which I never would be. I'm in radio. There's no way I can run out of words. But to hear you say that I may not be the trainer for you is huge, dude. I've had so many, and dude, you're the first trainer on the show. I have friends who have gyms, storefront gyms.
Right.
And I've sat down and had conversations with them, and they've never been on this show.
Right.
And I'm sure there's probably going to be some hateration and I'm going to get from them. But clearly, I hope that they see that Corey had Nate on the show. So clearly they said something that, just miscued with me. And I'm like, I'm not going to give them this platform to come on. And if it's not now, I'll be honest, Nate and his lovely girl has hit me up on social media and made offers to work with me and nutrition and meal prep and all that other stuff. And I've graciously declined, because you're right. You've got to be in that mental state to hit that level. Now I may be at that point mentally, personally, and this is just way too much about me, but that's what I do on this show. That I might just, I'll just be completely over the hill. When you're north of certain age range, you kind of think, well, hell, if it hasn't happened at this point, it's pretty much not going to happen. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But dude, you blew my mind with that answer. I'm having to compose myself here because that was so amazing.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Come to a close here because I don't want to keep you too long. I know that your time is precious, but give everybody your social media connections and how people can get in contact with you. Put that out there.
Yeah. Facebook, of course, just Nate Avila. You'll see me. It's profile pic of just me wearing a backwards hat, shirtless. So
Shirtless.
yeah. gray and white, like picture silhouette type of thing. Instagram, heavily on Instagram. Take the first name, last name, Nate Avila, put them together, and then add 18 at the end of it as well.
18.
And then Facebook business page, just Nate Avila. Same thing, kept it simple.
Hit them up. You're local here. You're local here in Arizona, on the east side of town. But you're not, your nutritional meal plans and help and assistance is things that you can do from people all over the country.
I can do training all over the country because I feel comfortable and confident enough to be able to train you virtually through a Zoom or online. That's the beauty about technology, is that when you become a trainer, there's technology personal training apps that you can get and send to your clients to be able to do over the phone. Then the nutrition, of course, is also universal too, so I can help anyone, anywhere.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure that we lower third all of these, all of his social media links, and we'll put them under in the description under this video post as well. So you can get in contact with Nate if it's something that you are ready to do, especially with us in the middle of this pandemic. People have, I mean, at the beginning of this, I was throwing, caution to the wind, and I was like, hey, Pete's Fish and Chips, how you doing? How you doing? I'm sad. I can't go anywhere, but more recently, I've kind of gotten back on my own control, if you will. It's not necessarily a weight loss thing. I will be honest with you, Nate. I have been at the same number. I have flatlined for years, and it drives me insane. And then when I do see a blip go down, I get happy, and then I feel like I'm Jesus and I'm walking on water. And then that blip goes away a week later, and then I'm just flatline, and I'm just staying at that same damn number. And then, they make big caskets. No, I'm kidding. Dude, I got to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I hope I didn't intervene in someone else's training time and then they broke down and went to Del Taco.
Not at all.
All right. So you're the personal trainer. We talked weight. Let's dig into just a little bit here at the beginning. Nate, favorite fast food place? Go.
Oh, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Even with the secret menu, do you know all the secret ingredient menu items that you can order?
I do not, but my favorite thing that I always get is a 4x4 animal style. I get animal style fries, and then I'll get a pink lemonade.
Awesome. When you're not training and you're not taking shirtless pictures and putting them on your social media, God dang it. Dude, if I put a shirtless picture on social media, I'm sure that the Arizona Fish and Game Department would probably come and knocking at my door, wondering why the hell you have a brown bear in the middle of the city. When you're not posting shirtless pictures on social media that I'm scrolling by, drooling over, and hating you secretly, what does Nate do to chill? When they go to your social media, they're going to see you working out. They're going to see you eating well. They're going to see these amazing videos that you post up with you sitting in your car. I love those, by the way. What does Nate chill? What is Nate's chill outfit?
Well, it's obviously, of course, the still working out outfit.
Of course.
So you're just chilling in that. You can do that all day, every day.
I was really hoping you were going to say something like SpongeBob footy pajamas. No, damn it.
I don't own any of that.
Damn it. I got to get you some. I'm going to get you some footy SpongeBob pajamas.
If you could, that'd be cool, because I'm like, me and my girlfriend talked about some footy pajamas. I'm like, we need to get some of those. We just don't know where to find them.
Some onesies, some adult onesies. Come on. Something like that. So you're just chilling in the workout gear.
In the workout gear, and then just more of a movie guy. I like to watch a lot of movies, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Netflix, a lot of stuff. I'm very up to date with. I try to keep up to date with every single new movie that's out there. So, because besides working out, I love going to the movies. I've always been in love with going to the movies when I was a kid. So that was the every weekend thing before the pandemic happened. Me, my father, my girlfriend, my brother, we would always go to the movies. We were there every single weekend. Okay. We would watch anything. We would watch anything and everything that came out.
Okay. Now, in your family, where do you rank as far as siblings? Are you the oldest? Are you the youngest? Are you the middle child? Which one are you?
Yep.
Wait, you know what? Let
I'm
me guess. Let me guess. Yellow, good looking ass is probably the baby. No, you're not the baby. Okay, what are you? Where do you rank?
The firstborn.
You're the firstborn. Oh man, the indignant heir to the throne is always the firstborn. I'm stuck in the middle, so therefore, by law, I have to hate you.
Same with my brother. Probably feels the same way.
How many siblings do you have? Is there 3 of you? Is there an odd number, even number?
So it's me, my brother, my sister from my dad, and then my parents got divorced. And my mom had another child with her boyfriend, so it would be I have 3 siblings, a half brother.
Okay,
as well.
And you're the oldest of all 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of movies? You mentioned movie buff. What kind of movies do you prefer? Do you just go to all of them just because it's a movie?
It's basically we will go to all of them just because it's a movie, because that's how my dad likes to spend time with me. So he was like, we'll go to see anything and everything. But first we'll contemplate. Like, we'll see the trailer. Like, before we go, we'll see the trailer. We'll all kind of like vote on it. If we're like, that one didn't look so hot, but this one looks pretty hot, we're going to go to that one instead.
Okay.
And so the last movie that we saw in theaters before it was closed, I believe it was Fantasy Island, before it actually shut down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's just a thing to do to bond. And I mean, when you're telling me that, I feel like now I want movie theaters back open so you guys can go back and enjoy that. Man, you have been an absolute joy to have on this Fat and Furloughed miniseries, man. I'm definitely going to have you back on the regular show with all the guys. You think it was crazy with me, but when you get those other knuckle draggers in behind a microphone, dude, it's no telling what the hell can happen. This has been tamed. This is tamed until, you get my little brother, who my little brother is into fitness. Very fit, very healthy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And he's rocking his little dad bod, but he blames that on his 3 girls, and my executive producer, he's physical. I mean, we have a rule at Fat Guy Radio Show that there can only be one fat guy, because it's not fat guys, it's fat guy. So I have to be that guy. But Nate, I got to thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me, man.
I appreciate it. This is actually like a dream come true, because when me and my girl started the YouTube channel, which was in 2017.
Wow.
We were doing that consistently, videos every Wednesday to move to Fridays. We were making videos every week, and we just posting up on the YouTube channel. And I told her, I said, one day we'll be part of a podcast or a YouTube video.
And this is both.
Today's the day.
It's a worldwide internet radio show, man. This is going to go all over the planet, which is going to be amazing for you. And I hope it has a huge return. It's very interesting. And it has a long tail too, because it just stays out there forever and it never goes away. So I hope that, you have a nice response, man. So I appreciate you coming on and fielding my questions and setting a moment in history on Fat Guy Radio Show, man. It's never happened before. So this has been absolutely great, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Fat and Furloughed with my buddy, Nate Avila. Hit him up on social media, hit him up on Twitter, hit him up on Instagram, wherever it is, ladies and gentlemen, hit him up. Nate, thank you again for joining us on Fat and Furloughed, man. It's been absolutely a pleasure. It's been absolutely a pleasure. And your little 36 pounds and stuff like that. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.